Hello and welcome to ASB TDC TV, a product of a partnership between the University of Arkansas Small Business and Technology Development Center and the Northwest Arkansas Council Small Business Emergency Assistance Program. In this series, we are talking with small businesses, experts, and ASB TDC consultants about the relevant and right now topics and solutions for small business. I'm Amy Robinson.
Hey guys, my name is Chris Case, and today we're here with Sheila from On Point Solutions. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Well, it's so nice to meet you. It's my first time meeting you, so I have so enjoyed talking to you already. But one of my main questions is kind of fill everybody else in, because it's so intriguing and interesting what you do. Fill us all in on kind of how you got to this point, your journey, and what you currently do.
Wow, yeah, sure. So thank you for this opportunity. So I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. I started years ago, probably over 25 years ago, actually teaching at the University of Arkansas for the Veterans Upward Bound program, and just really developing and designing end-user courses and training our veterans. And my degree, I graduated from the University of Arkansas with a degree in business education, adult education certification. So really had a desire to work in the field of learning and helping others learn. I had a 25-year career at Tyson Foods in our information technology department. Had a wonderful career. Had a lot of transitions myself during that 25-year career. Started out. I met Amy. Had a lot of opportunities just in the community and with some of our Tyson's partners. And so started out in training, supporting users as they use software, homegrown systems, out-of-the-box systems. And then they kind of transition into change management, into this world of ambiguity and, hey, here's change management. And I'm like, okay, that's great. What is it? And so I'll be honest and transparent and say I had no clue when I started in the change management field in 1998. But I learned a lot from experiences, learned a lot from common sense that, hey, just, hey, what are you feeling? What are you going through? And so my background and my passion is really with change management and helping employees, helping individuals, helping organizations really think about how do we transition our users, our employees through change, not just rolling out a system, rolling out a new process, but thinking end-to-end change from visualizing the change to seeing themselves using whatever the new system may be. So that's really where I kind of like to hang my hat and just kind of go to work and have fun.
Well, in this climate, you are so needed. So one, I feel very fortunate to have known you for as long as I have and been able to work with you before. So I was really excited to learn about what you are doing now, because I know that you're awesome at it. And so, we have a lot of clients with the ASB TDC, small businesses, and this is exactly what, change management. Chris's background is in change management and the psychology of it. And so it's fascinating to me that you are in the technology of it, which is, which people think is not related, but it absolutely is. And so these small businesses are literally thrust into all of these new ways of having to do business from a technology standpoint and getting online. And so, one of the things that a lot of people are navigating is the use of Zoom, the use of different technologies to connect and stay connected, just kind of knowing the ins and outs of it. So I know that you have different clients than small businesses, and I'd like to hear about those as well and some of the things you're experiencing with them. For our listeners and audience, if somebody was to come to you as a small business and just be like, okay, so change management with technology 101, how do I approach my employees? How do I guide my team through some of these changes that they're experiencing emotionally and in their lives? while they are trying to learn new technology to
Mhm.
get their work done. And then I'd also love to hear about just your pros and cons of Zoom and what what people need to know, because we're all navigating
Oh,
that on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
That should have been
yeah.
our very first
I know.
interview, Amy, was that one
It should
question
have
right
been.
there.
Right. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
actually needed you before we did any of
We
this.
did.
It's the Zoom is it kind of seems like the $1 million question, right? How to navigate through Zoom.
Mhm.
But you're right. We are transforming. I mean, transformation is happening right before our eyes. If we thought we were in transformation before, it's now amped up, I like to say, and we're really moving at a rapid pace. And so, really, if someone comes to me and there's different facets of change, it depends on where you are, right? And so, I start with helping a client navigate and really think about change more from the tactical side. Um, What's your desired outcome? Tell me where you want to be. What does the future state look like? And let's start and envision what that looks like. I know we have some obstacles. I know there are some barriers, but let's talk about what the end state looks like, and then let's work our way back from there. And so, what I would say to them, and what I've done, and what I am doing is saying, hey, let's get a clear vision of the future and where we want to end up, and that way we can make sure we're prescriptive in our change strategy and what we're planning that we'll get there. And so it's not just about the process, the system, but okay, think about, okay, who am I impacting, right? Who are my stakeholders? Who are my direct stakeholders? Who is indirectly impacted by this change that's coming? For example, if you think about students in the classroom with some of our frontline team members, yes, they are directly impacted, but people that support them, the plant management team is indirectly impacted. Their families are indirectly impacted. If we're asking them to use Zoom to connect from home, then we need to think about who's in the house and how are they impacted by this change. How do you, one funny thing, we were thinking about, Zoom and teaching team members how to connect to Zoom from home. I said, this changes our housekeeping rules for our meetings.
Right.
Thinking about setting aside that personal time, is there a time where you can have that private time to learn while you're at home and no one will interrupt as much as you can control that? Um, and so, really thinking about, we need to write different housekeeping rules for when we connect with Zoom and from home. And so, really thinking about who's impacted, how are they impacted, what are you doing today? What's the current state? What do we have in place today? What are those barriers that we're experiencing today? What are the enablers? There are some things that we're doing today that's working. We don't have to throw everything out, but what is working and how do we continue to leverage that? And then what are those key messages and what training is involved? And a big thing that clients that I'm really stressing with clients is adoption, user adoption. So not just implementing a solution, but how do we measure that we've successfully adopted, users have adopted or are adopting that solution? Are they utilizing the solution? Are they receiving the training? Are they being successful with that? And so what are those milestones? At what point do you want to be when you roll out this system? So really thinking about change from end to end when I talk to the clients. Hopefully that answers your question.
Oh,
Absolutely. Well, and I just love one that you brought up, schools and education, because that is how it has a huge impact. And the
Mm,
fact that really thinking about the person, not just the technology, and what impact that's having on their lives
mhm.
is just enormous. I love that.
Yeah.
What are some of the examples of just maybe even this era related with your clients that
Mhm.
you're looking at and how you're helping them navigate through that?
Yeah, so a big our clients that I'm working with and the employees are ESL classes, students that are in ESL classes and low English learners, and so you have the language barrier first, not really, and then the translation in their language of material that's going out, and so that's something that even from a change side, being able to help my client with translating material in the employee's language. And so we do a lot of that in interpreting. But really, when we think about change and using technology, um, thinking about I'm sorry, I lost pause. I lost my train of thought when I got on the other.
Hey.
I was going
That's what we're here for. We're here to have a good time.
sorry about that.
I
It's
tell
all
you,
for real.
Sheila,
All
that is
the
one
real.
thing with me. I mean, everything is just
It
trial
was just
by
all
fire.
there. Okay, so Amy, what was the question? Sorry about that.
Your clients and what they're experiencing and how you're
Oh, okay.
especially
Yes,
related
the example. Okay.
yeah, to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you think about the clients that I work with, low English learners and students that are in ESL classes,
Mhm.
some of the things they're experiencing is the technology understanding in their language, not having access to a Wi-Fi in the home. You know, how do I get access? And so really helping them think through that, not having the computer at home or a laptop, right, or a tablet, and so they're using their phone. And so how do we make sure that user experience from the phone is a good user experience? How are we modifying our technology to make sure that if I'm on my phone, I have that good user experience? And the other thing is time. Life happens, and we
Yes.
can't compartmentalize this change and say, well, this is the technology change and this is life. It
Mhm.
all is mixed in there together. And so when you're
Mhm.
home, you think I'm in a home setting, I need to take care of things at home. And so some of the things they're experiencing is life at home and trying to find that time to connect via Zoom or a technology platform online to learn. They've worked all day, and now I'm setting aside this time to learn, and so that makes for a long day. So the biggest things we've seen is the Wi-Fi, you know, having access to the internet and the hardware.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is
And
probably.
everything changes, Sheila. I mean, every single day, and that's what we talk about
Hmm.
times with on the task force, emotions. I mean, your emotions
Hmm.
one day are great, and then the next day you feel like you want to jump out the window.
Hmm.
But there's no
Hmm.
right or wrong in any of this, and just
Right.
having experts like you out there to help guide us through the part that is way above my head. The technology part is so beneficial, and it's so great to know that you're out there.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, like I say, it is a passion of mine. I really got into change management. I was so frustrated because I was trying to learn a system and I didn't have anyone that would take the time and show me. They were legitimate questions. I just didn't know how. And I
Mhm.
thought, oh gosh, if I could just help people learn. You know, we had a transition back in late 90s from they called them the dumb terminals, where it was just a terminal on the desk, to the
Yep.
desktop, to the computer, right? The biggest change was learning how to use a mouse and literally seeing people in tears because they could not double click. And so how do you know, when in the change management, Chris, and you know, with the psychology of the change, when do you push aside the technology and all the tech speak and really deal with the emotions of the person and understand, hey, let's talk about what's going on, because there's some mental barriers there. And you have
Absolutely.
to address those barriers. And so change management is not just about, although a big part of it is technology, a lot of it is dealing with mental barriers, right? Experiences from change that's gone bad
Mhm.
and wondering if this is going to be the same. Hey, the last time I was involved in a change, I may have lost my job. You know, it didn't end well with me. And so let's talk about what we're doing and have those conversations. That's all part of change management.
It absolutely is.
And layers and layers and layers.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes.
I am so excited to just have you in the world, to know that
Me too.
kind of service exists, and that somebody, you specifically, are thinking about some of those details and that human interaction. And back to your comment about compartmentalization.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a dream that we all have, but really, especially now in the pandemic world,
Hmm. Hmm.
everything blurs together.
Right.
And so, and navigating all of that. And I'm just so happy that you are, that you're here, and especially that you're
Me
here with
too.
us. So tell us a little bit about what, before we wrap up, because you know that we could talk to you all day.
Oh, this is
And
great.
I might have to reach out to you later because you said a few things that I'm like, yep, I definitely need that.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about what, what's next for you, and what's some of the services or anything that you're starting to expand, so that, and where to find you. So, where to find you.
So I'll first say where to find me. I do have a website, onpointsolutions.nwa.com. It lists the services, have a list of services out there. So we are on the web. We are branching out into social media. I love paying it forward to our young adults. And so I keep at least 3 college interns on staff that can help me understand their world. And I actually have one that's developing the social media platforms for On Point Solutions. So more to come on that. So we'll be on social media. But what's next for me is really branching out, really finding those organizations that are maybe struggling with where they are. They have a great solution, they have a great product, but maybe struggling or stuck with rolling it out or deploying it to the organization or out. And so what does that look like? Where do I start? How can I get this product out to people? And so I'm really looking to come alongside of businesses and partner and collaborate and provide those prescriptive change management strategies that align with their goals, with their objectives, and at the end of the day, help move the needle with change and with services we're trying to get out into the communities.
Absolutely. And I think this is a time when a lot of new technologies and a lot
Mhm.
of new ideas and inventions, it seems, anti what's happening right now. But, we're seeing a lot of new companies start because there are solutions that the world needs right now. So
Yes,
we'd love
yes.
to learn about you, helping those come to life. So thank you so much for
Oh,
being here today. And if you're watching or listening, thank you for joining us. If you have a suggested topic, a question that you need answered, or someone that you like, Sheila, that you'd like to hear from, or a story that you'd like to share, please contact us at bizhelp, BUSHELP at uark.edu, and put TV in the subject line. If you're interested in benefiting from our free one-on-one consulting assistance, please sign up at sbtdc.uark.edu. Thank you again, Sheila.
thank
We'll see
you.
you
It's my
soon.
pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you, ladies.